Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome to Let's Get Together, a social club for seniors. And this dementia-friendly Fort Worth program, it is being recorded and will be made available for viewing through our YouTube and other media channels. Oh, and Steve's a popular person today.
I'm going to mute it.
Okay. And we're proud to offer this series with funding in part through grants from AeroCares by Lockheed Martin employees and also Hesta Stewart Christian Trust. And I'm Heather, your host for today's activity, and Emily is leading us in FitWits. So Emily, I'm going to go on mute and let you do your intro.
All right. Welcome. Thanks for being here. There's my lamp. All right. Well, we are.
I'm locked in and ready to go, and we can catch him up whenever he gets up.
Yeah, we'll catch him up. No big
deal. So you
deal.
can share your screen.
I will do that.
Oh.
All right. So do you see the white?
Yes. Yeah. Okay. I'm back again.
Hi there.
Hi.
Welcome back.
You missed all the fun stuff. We're done now.
Okay. All right.
No, I'm just
well,
kidding.
sorry about
kidding.
that.
I'm kidding.
And it's been nice. All right. So let's see if it would. There we go. Okay. So you may be starting to pick up on the fact that each time I begin a FitWits session, there's a theme for the session. So you can start to pick up on any clues you see here on this front page.
Rosie the Riveter.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Tell me about her, Steve. Tell me about her.
She was a poster person during World War II for women working in the factories.
Yep. Okay. And was she a real person?
I believe she was, if I'm not mistaken. There was somebody who was her, but I'm not sure if the picture is exactly accurate or not.
So I used to think that she was a real person, but what I read today about her as I was refreshing my memory is that she was actually fictional. But, you know, just like a lot of fictional characters, a lot of times they're based on sort of composites of real people. So
yes.
But and I'm sure many real people embodied her and everything that she was about and just kind of took on that same identity. Yeah.
Absolutely. And so what has she kind of come to represent, Steve? Now, I mean, different time, different circumstances. What is she like when you see that image? I don't know, what comes up for you?
A strong, independent woman.
Yes, I love that answer. All right, well, you're on the right track then, my friend. So we'll take a little moment here. Today is Tuesday, March 8th, 2022. What about the statement in yellow, Steve? Do you agree with that statement?
It depends on your perspective. You know, I don't think it's really nice. Answer. It depends on where you depends on where you are. If you're in North Dakota, it's a good day. You know.
Right. This would be excellent weather if you were in North Dakota in the beginning of March. Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
All right. And it looks like they got the weather right today, except I'm not sure it's going to get up to 49.
I don't know either. Yeah. I was going to look again on mine.
Hey now. Oh, I think Wally heard you.
Yeah. The Weather Channel says it's not about 47.
Wally, come on. No, ma'am. Come on. You're fine.
And what's so wild is I think tomorrow or day after tomorrow, the high is like 72.
Right, but then it goes down again.
No, it's like a 50-degree swing.
Thursday, I think. I think it's down again.
Yeah. Blows my mind.
There's rain in there another day too. So, yeah.
I think Lolly was asleep, and then every now and then she can hear one of the voices that's coming through my earbuds. So I think she heard Steve just now, and she was like, "Who's there?" All right. Well, they definitely got the chance of rain right, I guess, except that it's more of a pellet than rain. All right, so today's adventure will explore executive function, memory, language, sensory processing, and spatial relations. And there's another clue about our theme.
Women's Day.
Today is International Women's Day. Hey, Lolly, this is not in my program.
Why? Why not? I want to be in your program.
Heather nearly spit her coffee
There's
out.
nothing wrong with that. Always welcome.
I know, but I'm speaking. I am speaking. Come on, lay down. You're
Well,
a woman. You're a
I'm the
strong
most
woman.
important. I'm the most important one, Emily. You know.
Yeah,
I
of course.
know,
You didn't know?
right? Oh, I knew. So I tried to play this video for my previous group, and I could play the video, but they couldn't hear the sound.
So there's an
So-
option when you go to share your screen. There's a box at the
Yeah.
bottom that also says to share sound. Did you click that?
Yeah, I did. And I'm wondering if it has to do with one of my Zoom settings, like the share original sound. That might have something to do with it. So I'd like
You want to share it with me and I can
try
take over the
again if
screen and
that's
share it?
yeah, in the or previous session. Sorry. Okay, so see you there. Alrighty, so let me see if I can make that happen. And
Okay. I'm here. I'm here. Yes.
I'm gonna share sound. All right.
I apologize. I think mine froze for a moment, but I'm back.
It did. That's all right. It's all
Yeah,
right.
you're good. Okay, so I think I fixed what was wrong. I think it's gonna work out for us now. Come on, video.
There we go.
As part of an experiment to explore the human mind, we asked 22 people to solve the same riddle and recorded their responses. Feel free to participate also. Are you ready?
The riddle. A father is about to bring his son to a job interview, applying for a position at a large stockbrokers company in the city. Just as they arrive at the company's parking lot, the son's phone rings. He looks at his father, who says, "Go ahead, answer it." The caller is the trading company CEO, who says, "Good luck, son, you've got this." The son ends the call and once again looks at his father, who is still next to him in their car. How is this possible?
He gets a call from the CEO, but it says,
Good luck, son.
But he was next to him.
So it's not the father.
I think it was probably an audio recording of his father.
Maybe he made a demo tape.
Like he has two fathers?
This is a hard one.
Maybe it's a word joke, like it's the grandfather of the son.
No, I think his name is Son.
I don't know.
Maybe it's just like an old man, calling a younger guy son.
I have no idea.
The answer. It's his mother.
Ah! Oh, that's so stupid. Yes, of course. Ah!
I should have thought of that, yes.
The CEO is a woman.
So I'm biased. In a sense. Is this about diversity and inclusion?
It's really mind-blowing, actually.
So I always thought that I'm not very sexist. But in spite of that, I think these subconscious biases are there in everyone's mind.
How much bias I still have in terms of thinking that the CEO needs to be a man.
Yeah, I definitely was picturing a man.
They identify with males more than females these days.
Why can't women also be CEOs or doctors or, right?
When I think about a CEO or someone that's high positioned within a company, I mostly think of man.
And it's a shame, I think.
And that's so weird, because I'm a CEO, and I'm a woman.
And I want to be a CEO. Why didn't I think about that? Crap.
I believe women can absolutely be CEOs.
And that's definitely something that we should work on, especially when you're saying that so many people have been told this riddle and most people haven't gotten it.
Women make great CEOs and great leaders as well. And yet only 5% of Fortune 500 CEOs are women. Let's change our mindset.
So that's our video. And Steve, I'm guessing that you had the answer almost right away.
No, I didn't. I'm sorry.
No?
I did not. I was probably.
I love the honesty.
I was thinking, I don't know what I was thinking, but I wasn't thinking his mother.
You know what's funny is I'm in the same role. I'm the leader of my company, and I didn't have that answer either. And I think
Really?
I think part of it's our mindset, and I think another part of it too is the beginning of the story was the only characters in the story were men. So it's almost like you're kind of like gearing your mind to think that way, and it kind of coincides with like the way we, there's kind of like the way we kind of naturally think anyway. I think it's kind of a combination of the story and our mindset, but either way, I didn't get the answer either.
And that makes a lot of sense. And so it kind of shows you that if the details of a circumstance are set up in just such a way, then you're even more inclined maybe to default to these kinds of biases that we experience in life. And they're not conscious most of the time. We don't mean to think these, most of us, right, are not intending to leave out women or leave out any particular group, but it does happen. And so this is, I think, just a cool way of noticing that could be true about us sometimes. And the reason we have an International Women's Day to begin with is just to celebrate all the ways that women contribute to the world and to try and encourage the achievements of women all over the world. So thanks for watching that video.
Thank you.
It's entertaining too,
That's good.
right? It's a fun little, it's playful the way that they put that together. I enjoy it.
I agree. And I think it's fun too, seeing the creativity of some of the answers too, like people thinking, oh, it's a recording or it's a grandfather.
And
some creative
because
ideas.
you get to see people's thought processes are really interesting to watch. Okay, so what is International Women's Day? So every year it's March 8th. The first International Women's Day was celebrated in, does anybody know? No? Okay, 1911.
I thought you were a location is what I was.
Sorry. No, the year 1911.
Okay.
And so Susan B. Anthony and I've forgotten her name. Stanton. I know her name. Elizabeth Cady Stanton. These are the two women who are most well known for the women's movement to get the right to vote, they actually both died before they ever achieved their goal, but their goal was achieved, right? Kind of fun. So moving, we did our riddle, and we're going to do a few more riddles here. And my slides got out of order, but so transitioning into, I'm really enjoying these brain teasers. And we'll start, I'm going to reload the page so that my answers will go away. And all right, so we're going to start with number one. And we're just using that as a way to transition to riddles. And we'll take a little break here later, but we're not going to twist ourselves into quite the knot that we were in last time, unless you want to. So starting with number one, guess the next 3 letters in the series.
EMA.
Huh.
Gentleman.
Oh, huh.
Yeah.
Interesting. I like it. I like the thought process.
I know the
Okay,
next one is T, but the second one I don't know, and then the last one is T.
Is it?
I think so.
I know. I forgot the second T. Sorry about that.
So think outside the box, because our first instinct is to recognize a pattern, right? And you're right to want to recognize a pattern. It's just not the type of pattern that you think it is. So
Next 3 letters, yeah, right?
yeah.
Y, lady.
So look at the question or the clue in order to see if you could derive the answer.
I'm sorry, what's the clue?
The clue is what it says after the number one. Guess the next 3 letters in the series. So that is our clue.
Okay. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
No worries. No, sorry. So that's what we have to go on. And then we also have these first letters.
I was going to say, okay. To me, GN, gifted and talented is GN, gifted and talented, and talented lady. That was my guess, but obviously it's not quite right. But anyway.
So it's one of those that just kind of makes you kick yourself because it doesn't occur to us to think of it, right?
Right.
Are you ready?
Yes, please.
It didn't occur to me or anybody in the previous group, right? It took me a minute to even understand the answer, right?
Yeah.
So I'm going to circle. So look at the G, Steve.
Okay.
Now the next letter is T, right?
Okay.
Hang on.
Then N.
Right. So as I'm
T.
highlighting with my cursor.
Yeah, I'm following what you're doing there. Then a T again.
So tell it we pay
L.
attention to our surroundings. So
I T S. Okay, now it makes sense. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Now it makes sense.
No, you got it.
And if it were a snake, it'd bit us.
Right. So
we'd be dying now. I'm sorry.
But Heather, that was such a great takeaway that sometimes the answer is in our surroundings, and just paying attention to our surroundings can really help out quite a bit. All right, so let's move to the next one. Boy, this one really trips me up, you guys. 3 identical light switches operate 3 identical bulbs in another room. And you need to figure out which switch goes to which bulb. You're only allowed 1 trip into that room. This one it requires patience.
Okay, I have a thought, okay?
Okay, what is it?
It's called a 4-way switch, which means you have 3 light switches, but they all operate the bulbs at different times. It's an electrical thing, you know. It's like we have 3-way switches in our house. You've got one switch in one end of the room and another switch in the other end of the room, and they can do the lights. You know, one turns on, then it turns, the other one turns it off. You know what I mean about that?
I do. Yeah,
Okay.
I do.
Well, there's 4-way lights, what's called 4-way light switches, which basically means it's 3 switches operating the function rather than just 2 switches. I don't know. And the 3 light bulbs can be tied together.
Yeah.
I have a different idea.
I know
What's
it's not
your idea,
right.
Heather?
I don't know
It's
anything
not
about
quite right, but
electricity,
that's
so I
my
would have
brain,
never thought
okay?
about a 4-way light, but that makes sense. A 4-way switch.
Well, and Steve, the whole point is for us to get into that problem-solving part of the brain, and you're doing it. That's exactly what we're doing. Yeah. Heather, what's your idea?
I think there are 4 rooms. One is the one you're standing in, and the other 3 have a light bulb and a light switch that operates that bulb. And so the only way that you can see if that light switch operates that light bulb is by going into that other room and switching the light. So I think I just think it's like, let's say it's like a 3-bedroom house. You can go into 1 bedroom, flip the light switch, the light turns on, and it's safe to assume that the other 2 rooms have an identical light bulb and an identical light switch that operates that bulb.
Okay. Final answer. Would you like to phone a friend?
Well, I have another thought too, okay?
Okay.
I'm thinking about my kitchen, because I've got several banks of light in the kitchen, okay? And one switch turns on the main bank that floods the kitchen, okay? Another one by the sink turns on another bank that's right over the sink and the counters. And then another one operates the dining area, okay? Same room, essentially. But the switches basically, I say, are tied into locations of the lights. Okay.
Yeah.
The first one you walk into, and this is my brain working. Okay. First one you're walking into, you're turning on the lights, you're going to flood the main room. Okay. You go over to the sink, you turn on the light, you're flooding the kitchen, the sink and the counter. You go over to the dining area, you turn it on, and you're flooding that dining area right with the kitchen. That was my answer. I'm sorry.
No.
Maybe I'm too logical.
So are you thinking that all the switches and all the bulbs are all in that one room because it says you're allowed only 1 trip into that room? Is that kind of why you're thinking they're all in the same location?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's my thought. So let's see what the answer is.
Are we ready?
Yes, please. Yes.
It requires a lot more patience than you might have imagined. So I'll let you read it and then we'll talk about it.
Okay. I gotta think this through, read this through again.
Right.
Oh, so while it's warm, the bulb heats up, and that's how you're going to be able to tell that it was previously turned on. Gotcha.
Have you ever done that at your house? Tried to figure out, like, did you change a light bulb and then you can't remember if you're doing one that has 4 lights on a fan or something, and you can't remember if the bulb you just did a fresh one or not. One of the only ways to know is if the light had been on, you could touch it and it would be warm.
No, that makes sense.
Totally makes
sense. This was really challenging for me. Even having the answer, I'm still kind of going, what?
Well, okay, I'm going to throw out another thing with this, okay?
Okay. Some
homes have switched outlets, and you have to figure out which outlets are on that switch. Well, how do you do it? You plug something into it, right?
Yeah.
So if you plug it in and the switch is off and it's always on when you turn the item on, that means it's not the switched outlet. Okay. Yep. You plug it in and turn it on and nothing comes on. It only works with the switch. That's the switched outlet. So it's kind of the same aspect, just a little different.
Yeah, different sort of demonstration.
It's a trial and error type of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Okay.
Well, and process of elimination, right?
Yeah.
Just like some of the process of elimination that we do in our logic puzzles.
Right.
And it's that same kind of, if it's not this, then it's this.
Right.
But first I have to find out this thing.
Right? It's kind of, like I can, without all of my electronic or electrical testing instruments, I can use one tester and figure out where everything goes in the house, which circuit breaker goes on, but it takes much longer to do it. Okay. Because you essentially have to go to turn it on, and you've got to go to different outlets, one at a time. Okay. Where I also have a tester that basically you plug it into the outlet and it shows up with a beeper at the breaker. Okay. So it depends on what you're using. Yes. Yeah.
Right.
So just different things like that,
So are we ready to move to the next one?
You don't need me to talk about the electrical stuff of the house. Go ahead, let's go.
I mean, I'm learning something. Fine. Okay, so now this one, Steve, I hope you guys are going to get this one because we've had an example of it already. A boy is walking down the road with a doctor. While the boy is the doctor's son, the doctor isn't the boy's father. Then who is the doctor? Heather knows.
Is it a grandfather? I don't know.
Nope.
That's the only walking down the road with a doctor.
Heather?
Can I guess?
Doctors.
I think
son.
I'm going with International Women's Day. I think it's his mom. The doctor is his mom.
Yeah. Okay. Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
You got it.
Yeah.
The doctor is the boy's mother. That's right.
I'm sorry, my brain just wasn't there yet.
No. It's top
practice.
of mind now since she told me about the significance of the day. Now it's top of mind.
Right. So this one's kind of fun. Feels like a softball maybe. What can you hold without ever touching or using your hands?
Your breath.
Heather, do you concur?
Yeah, that's a good one.
This
is why he's so good at Jeopardy. And if I ever have to phone a friend, I'm calling Steve.
Love.
Right. You got it. Yeah, that's another one. I like that one. Yeah, love is the answer to the one that says, what can you, when you give it away, it multiplies, something like that.
Yeah.
So let's move to number 5.
Okay.
Oh, I am the beginning of sorrow and the end of sickness. You cannot express happiness without me, yet I am in the midst of crosses. I am always in risk, yet never in danger. You may find me in the sun, but I am never out of darkness. What is the answer?
So I have an idea, but it's the last few words that got me. And I don't know if I'm thinking about it wrong.
Okay, well, what's your idea?
Do you want me to guess?
Sure. Steve, what do you think? I mean, let's take a pause before we guess. Let Steve talk it through for a sec. So I don't know about you guys, but I immediately started to think about like the symbolism of the words and the emotional. I'm going to the imagery of it, and it's so much more matter of fact than that. It's so much more literal than.
That was the word I was thinking of, but I'm still a little bit perplexed. So if Steve, if you have an idea, I'm all ears, because I might steal your answer.
I had an idea until the last sentence. And
Same here.
it just didn't click with my idea.
So what were your ideas?
As a mother.
Oh.
Because the mother is beginning in sorrow at the end of sickness. Cannot express happiness without the mother, yet the mother's always in the midst of the crosses that we have. Mother's always at risk, yet never really in danger because of the way she loves everybody. But that last one, I can't put with that because it says, you may find me in the sun, but I'm never out of darkness. That doesn't fit with my idea.
You know, you might be right, Steve, because I mean, if it's like kind of going with Emily's initial thought, that so you may find me in the sun. I would imagine that would be like a mother could be inspirational, you know.
Yeah.
And then, but I'm never out of darkness because she's going to, you know, worry and fret and toil for her family. So maybe
that's true. I hadn't thought of that one. Thank you.
Maybe you're right. Yeah. I was thinking of something literal, and I think it's the first sentence that gives it away. I'm the beginning of sorrow. And I'm like, beginning of sorrow. That's because there was another one with the letters. And so I was thinking the S is the beginning of sorrow, and it says the end of sickness. And I'm like, oh, that would make sense. So the letter S, you can't express happiness without me. Those have S's in it. I'm in the midst of crosses. S's are in the middle. So I'm thinking like literally. And it says, I'm always in risk, and there's an S in there, yet never out of danger. That kind of confuses me. Or never in danger. Okay, so yeah, there's not an S there. The part that confuses me is you can find me in the sun, which there's an S in there, but I'm never out of darkness. So, I mean, there are S's in there, but I would imagine that there wouldn't be an S in darkness. So that it's that very last piece that's confusing me a little bit.
So is it that the word darkness can never be the word darkness without the letter S? Would that satisfy the rest of the puzzle for you?
Yeah, because you can't spell darkness without S.
Yeah.
Oh, never out of. So there's always going to be an S in darkness. I was really liking Steve's answer.
Both of your answers were great and completely different parts, and dominant kind of parts of the brain, right? Like the answer that looks at it for what it is on the page is a very left-brained answer, and the answer that's interpreting emotions and analyzing the words and associating a story with the words, that's a different part of the brain. It's more right-brained. And so it's just, I think this is so cool just to look at kind of how we all come to life and how we all sort of show up with our different interpretations and lenses. And yeah, all of that is necessary. And Steve, you're right about the mother, right? All of those things are true. It's the poet in Steve. When you have me, you immediately, right? When you have me, you immediately feel like sharing me. But if you do share me, you don't have me. This is one of my favorite ones.
It's not a pony. I'm sorry.
Pony.
Oh.
I was either thinking time or money.
That was a common answer. Money was a common answer in the first
That was my
group.
first thought. Yeah.
None of us got it. I can tell you that. And it's one of those that I went, oh, yes, of course. But it's, it's a twister. So you have it, you want to share it, but if you do share it, you no longer have it. So it's something that changes as soon as you share it.
Mm.
And it's no longer the thing that it was before you shared it.
My brain's not there. I'm sorry.
I'm totally drawing a blank.
Yep.
A secret.
Oh, okay.
It does change the minute you give it. That's good.
Right? It's no longer a secret.
It doesn't exist anymore once you give it away.
Yeah. So this one seems morbid, but play along. Mm-hmm. Joseph and Lena are found dead on the floor with some water around. The windows are open and a strong wind draft is blowing the curtains around. How did they die?
They tripped on ice and the ice melted. They tripped on ice and hit their heads and the ice melted around them.
That was one of our guesses.
Okay.
It was. Hey, I said they were frozen inside of a block of ice and it melted. What a way to go, right? But nope, that wasn't it. Dawn ended up getting the answer on this one. But none of us were thinking along these lines.
Did it rain and flood the house and they drowned? And then now that's drying out? No?
Well, they did drown in a sense, but not the way you think.
It's only confusing more.
Sorry.
I have no idea.
So what do we know about Joseph and Lena?
They're found dead on the floor.
But that's really all we know about them.
Yeah. Oh,
And that they're indoors.
okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I think I know what this is. Joseph and
Okay.
Lena are not people.
Uh-huh.
They're fish.
Yeah.
And the bowl got knocked over on the floor with the wind.
You got it.
Oh, I need more coffee. That's awesome, Steve.
Yeah, you
Well,
got it.
It's only dawned on me because I got thinking about, if they're not people, what are they? And goldfish
Right.
would be the only thing, or fish would be the only thing that would fit that story.
So once again, demonstrating that our assumptions can keep us from getting to the answer, because when we were assuming that they were people, we were stuck. But when we moved out of the way and got that assumption out of the way, we were free to think of more possibilities, right?
Yeah. This is
I
so
love it when
good.
you.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say it dawned on you, and I was like, yes, it dawns on you. You got Dawn's answer. I'm punny like that. What were you gonna say, Heather?
There's a like a brain game kind of exercise that I do sometimes in some of my classes, and the whole purpose of it is to drive home this idea that a different way of thinking leads to a different way of doing. And we do this exercise where you have a piece of cake and you have to like draw out how you are going to cut this whole cake into 8 equal sized pieces, making only 3 cuts with your knife. And you have to draw it out, and then the person who shows that answer first wins.
You have to cut the cake into 8 slices.
8 equal sized slices.
Equal.
And you can only make 3 cuts with your knife.
3 cuts.
Yeah. And so the more I've been teaching this class and sharing that exercise, the more people are getting it right. So this morning I was just thinking, I need to find new riddles. And now I think I might have found some.
This is a good one. I have a ton of riddles, Heather, if you want me to send you. I have like a whole database of them that I've started collecting to build material for FitWits. So I'll be happy to share any of those. And they have all different levels, right?
Yeah.
Like medium, difficult, and hard, and
Okay, the cake is round.
Huh? It's like a round cake pan.
Round cake. You cut it in half. You cut it in corners, and you cut it by 8ths. I don't know. Maybe that's not right. Anyway,
but
all right.
you can only cut it 3 different times.
I know. I missed. I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
I'm close, but not there.
I've taught this class for the last, I think, 5 years, and only like 5 or 6 people have gotten it right. But you have to. So you have to. It helps like if you draw it out,
Right. Yeah.
And but more and more people are getting it right as of late. So I was thinking about changing it up.
More people are getting it right lately, huh?
Mm-hmm.
That's cool.
Yeah, but I'm driving home the thought of a different way of thinking leads to a different way of doing. So I'm encouraging them to like just stare at it and process it for a minute, and then intentionally think about it differently.
Okay. I think I figured it out. You cut it in half. You got 2 halves, but then you cut the halves on kind of a diagonal, like this.
Like cutting from the top.
Yeah, coming
So
across, and so you have equal pieces.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you have to have
I don't know if that's right or not. Yeah, but
you have to have 8 equal sized pieces.
Oh, that's true.
So
that's not 8. I'm sorry.
You're getting warm though, Steve.
Do you have to, so every time you put the knife down, you can't shift the knife? Is it like a cut is considered putting the knife down and lifting it up again, or can you put the knife down and move it?
It's a solid.
Okay. I don't know.
You want me to give the
I'm in.
answer?
No.
Okay. You want to
Because I
noodle
want to
on
think
some?
about it later when I'm, when I have the freedom to use my
Okay,
brain
yeah,
that way.
I'm not there, sorry.
Well, Steve was very, very, very warm. He was off to a
Okay.
really good start. You
Okay.
can keep
I
going.
like
I
it.
didn't mean to hijack it, but that's kind of what it was. I had this
Oh,
exact
I
same
just
thought this
figured it
morning.
out. I just figured it out.
What was it?
Okay, so, well, it's 3 cuts, right? Okay, so, yeah. So you would slice, yeah, I mean, you could do it in any order, but you cut the cross in the middle and then slice through the middle
Okay.
from the vertical
Horizontally,
axis.
yeah.
Because I was always
Yeah.
thinking of vertical cuts,
Uh-huh.
not, yeah,
And
okay.
especially when
Yeah.
you're drawing it
So
out,
we
one
did it
dimension.
together.
Yeah. That's
We
so
did it
good.
together.
Good job.
Nice.
Good job, you guys. Teamwork.
So I think we are about finished for today. It's already getting to be kind of late, but this last one is pretty straightforward. So let's do number 9. And number 10 is not straightforward. So let's do number 9 and then we'll call it a day. What has a mouth that cannot eat? What moves but has no legs? And what has a bank but cannot put money in it?
River.
Yep,
Yeah.
exactly. Yep. It's good to end on a positive note, right? We've got our confidence about us. We're feeling good about the cake. We're feeling good about the river. So nice work. And so as we ended our last session, we just briefly shared about one of the strong women in our lives or a woman who's influenced us. And it can be someone that we know or someone we've never met, but that we admire. So Steve, do you want to go first?
I have several, but I think probably my wife is the one that's the strongest and influenced me the most. I would not be who I am without her.
I love that.
That's beautiful. When's the last time you told her that?
I try and tell her every day.
Ah, so good.
Try to, okay?
Yeah.
But it's like she's gone most mornings by the time I get up. And we don't really have much time in the evening because by the time she gets home, we have enough time for supper and then I go to bed. Okay. So I try.
Well, I'm sure you have lots of ways of being able to tell her that.
Yeah, without necessarily using words. It's good.
Mm-hmm. So Heather, what about you?
Well, the first person that comes to mind, because I'm reading her book right now, is a woman named Brene Brown. And she
Love Brene Brown.
Mm-hmm. She's
so much.
Very strong, very transparent, very wise, very comical. And she is
and brilliant.
She's a very insightful leader. And I've read a number of her books, but I'm rereading Dare to Lead, and so that's why she's first on
okay.
my list.
I was going to ask you which one.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
what about you?
So I would say my grandmother, Doris Metcalf. And I believe that so it's interesting, when she was born, women could not vote.
Mm-hmm.
And so, she was one of those women who worked in a factory from an early age as a young woman, did not get formal education, but still just managed to become such a wise and thoughtful woman of the world. And truly, she's the kindest individual I've ever had the pleasure of knowing. And so, yeah, Doris Metcalf, my grandmother.
Okay, Emily, where are you originally from? I'm sorry, I probably didn't ask earlier, but.
I'm from here.
Okay. And where's your grandmother? Where's your grandmother live?
My grandmother passed away in 2006.
Okay.
And she grew up here too.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. So we moved away for a little while before my daughter was born. My husband and I did, but majority of my life, all of my almost 45 years, except for 7 of them have been here.
Okay. All right. You probably said it before, but my brain just doesn't always remember.
I'm not sure I have.
I was gonna say, if you said it before, I don't remember either. So I'm glad you asked. That's awesome.
Yeah. So thanks, you guys.
Thank you, Emily. This was good.
I am going to get back to this other screen real quick. Can you guys still see?
Yes.
So with Fitwits, I won't see you again with Fitwits until, I think this is the only one I'm doing. Oh no, March 22nd. Yeah.
I was gonna say, I think it's a couple weeks, right?
Yeah. March 22nd is the next Fitwits.
Okay.
So, but I'll see you guys on Monday.
Yes.
Okay.
And we have
tomorrow at 1:30, Steve, if you could get your exercise.
Go ahead, Heather.
No, it's good. At 1:30, I think it's I could probably use a little motivation jumping in on a class like that too, because I need to get moving as well. But tomorrow for this program we have Artful Moments. I think it was kind of cool. I think the first one that we did for this program was last week or week before last. It was so interesting. I was just looking at different types of art. I had never thought about it quite that way before, and like just really like dug deeply into it, you know. It's almost like it's alive. You know what I mean? Like whenever I read the Bible, you think about it, it's like the living word, and you can like pick different things apart. Art is the same way. You can like pick different things apart, like different meanings and stories behind it, and takeaways and colors and what was going on in the artist's life that led to the creation. You know what I mean? Like it's just so neat. So I really enjoy it. I'm looking forward to tomorrow. That's it. Mi amigos.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Emily. Thank you, Heather.
So much.
Bye, everybody.
Great job today, guys. Okay,
We'll see you later. Bye-bye.
Bye.